Hi, my name's Carrie Adcock. I'm a sustained success coach and mentor, and I'm here today to talk to you about going beyond the numbers. So, what is going beyond the numbers? Going beyond the numbers is really an attitude, a practice, a framework to take success beyond what's currently imagined. So many define success today by the numbers, by what's possible today, by what's going on today, and by what we can measure. Now, there's not a problem with numbers. There's not a problem with measuring what's so, but as you plan for the future, as you plan for success, as you plan to expand, utilizing the current what is not going to get you all that's possible. So going beyond the numbers is really taking a look at what is beyond what already is. So whether it's with your own life, whether it's within your community, whether it's if you're leading a community or a business, going beyond the numbers is really looking at how to make the most of what's possible. So often today we get stuck in the numbers and it's really this idea of that this is a finite place, that the market is only so large, or that there's only so many people that we can reach, or that there's some definition, there's some number that we're going after. And really it's this old idea of competition. It's this idea that there's a pie and that we can define it. And so if I own half the pie and now I'm expanding and now I own 3/4 of the pie, that whatever group owned half the pie before now only owns 1/4. That when somebody wins, somebody else has to lose. And if we look at the universe, if we look at what science shows us and what's reflected in our lives, we're always expanding. It's always getting bigger. Like if you look at the internet market, right? 20 years ago, it didn't exist. We didn't have this communication that we have. You wouldn't see me. You wouldn't be able to, I couldn't reach you from where I am today 20 years ago. So if I had planned this 20 years ago, it wouldn't be possible. If you look at the amount of people that this can reach today, even 5 years ago, it was maybe 1 billion people. Now they're saying by 2020, almost everybody on the planet will have access to be able to be online and to be able to see something like this. So when we come from a mindset that we can define what's possible, I really invite you to question that and to go beyond the numbers. So where did going beyond the numbers come from? It came from experience that I had almost 20 years ago, and I have been continuing to practice this going beyond the numbers. And what has helped me, where I've seen it work in my life, is that the last positions that I had in the corporate world, I actually were created for me, or I created them myself. It wasn't defined, right? It was beyond what was possible. And what I do today is I work with people who want to go beyond what they think is possible. So for me, I am a numbers person. Numbers have always been my friend. I am a computer geek. I grew up in Silicon Valley. I worked for high-tech companies, and I was and still am a troubleshooter. I began helping to build infrastructure, and then I went to go fix it. So I would fly in when large corporations were having issues with their infrastructure, their network, their systems, and I would fly in. We called ourselves smoke jumpers. I would fly in and help fix it. and really being able to look at the overall picture, look at what shifted, at what changed, and really get to the heart of where the issue lied so that we could get them back up and running. And I loved it, absolutely loved it. Loved the challenge, loved meeting new people, loved, figuring it out, loved working with people to make the solution happen. And it really shifted for me, like I said, almost 20 years ago. So 9/11 happened, and I had the gift of being able to work with some of the companies that were directly affected. So when planes began to fly again, I was on one of the first planes to Newark, New Jersey, and I found myself in a warehouse in Jersey City. And as I was going to visit a company who had very beautiful, opulent offices in one of the trade centers. So I walk in this warehouse, and in front of me are white plastic folding tables, so 2.5 feet wide, 5 feet long folding table, 2 folding chairs, 2 monitors, and at the time, this was a while ago, they weren't flat screen monitors, they were square, big 2 monitors, keyboards, mice, and taped to each monitor was an American flag. So this sea of white folding tables and flags. And what happened for me in that moment is all that stuff, all of the fancy offices and the titles and the mahogany and the leather and the opulence and all of that just was stripped away. And what was left was humans. Business is really, when you break it down, it's all about humans and relationship and working together. And in that moment, it was like, what are we doing? And so I was given the gift of being able to see beyond the obvious, beyond what's so today, and look for potential, look for what's possible. And so that is part of going beyond the numbers. We don't plan for the future based on what we know today, because in the future, we're not going to be who we are today. If we continue to grow and we continue to expand, then our opportunities and our options continue to expand. And so going beyond the numbers is really the attitude of being better tomorrow than we are today, and how to work together to do that. Because when we come together for a common, it can get better, it can be bigger. How do we get there? What can we do? When we all work from that place, amazing, amazing things happen. So that's a little bit about what going beyond the numbers is. I look forward to speaking with you again. I look forward to giving you tools and tips that can help you to go beyond the numbers yourself. I invite all feedback, any questions, let's all get together and go beyond the numbers. Thanks, and until next time, take care.